Guards attacking Imperial that's attacking me. I don't know.
Not if you're not getting attacked in the outpost. No, the only thing that attacks are guards and turrets.
Interesting.
But I wish them luck cutting through the turrets. They're like level 50 star elite. Those turrets hit like, oh, they hit hard.
I've got to stop letting. I've got to stop this because I make the mistake of getting ganked and wishing I had known better. And then you go back trying to look for them, or you waste time instead of leveling. Yeah, it throws you off track.
Yep. I just write their name down.
Yeah, it's true.
Don't worry, Mills. I'm coming for you later.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Let's settle this.
Now I'm getting focused. Okay. Time to corpse jump.
Are you getting killed on Basava?
Yeah.
Oh,
no
God.
Imperial outpost bit.
I was fucking muted that whole time. Here I am talking to myself again. Jeez.
Oh. And you're like, man, why aren't these guys talking to me today? Are they just ignoring me?
I was like, it's fine. It's, you know, it's a normal day. No, I was
Ropes
saying
being ropes.
that I have a level 8 bounty hunter already. We should all make bounty hunters and just like bounty hunter rickroll people.
Raffle stomp.
What are you going to be when you get to level 10?
Power
Tech
tech.
or Merc?
Power tech.
I'm hearing power tech is the way to go over over mercenary
It's the same thing as our Vanguard. Mercenaries that he...
Yeah.
because mercenaries have got a cast time. Power techs are instant.
Well, the power tech's a tank, and the mercenaries...
Well, they said the power tech can also be a DPS as well.
Yeah, the power tech can be DPS, absolutely. It's just like the
Yeah.
trooper DPS, the Vanguard DPS.
Right, and mercenary can either be DPS or healer.
Healer, yeah.
What I've been hearing is that I've been hearing that BioWare has made it so that no DPS class can out DPS another class by more than 5% of comparable
That sounds
stats, and
logical.
they said they've designed it that way. Yeah, they've designed it that way. It's interesting. So they said, for example, that people would think that a mercenary can out damage a a power tech easily, and they said no, not so true. They said if you take an in-game boss raid, a mercenary does most of its damage while it's standing still, and the power tech can move and do damage. So it balances out. And boss events are going to cause a mercenary not to be able to stand still as long as he'd like.
Well, that's the same thing for the sniper. The sniper has to be sitting still, and set up. If you ever go into PvP against a set up sniper that's standing still with cover and everything, they'll tear you apart.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
So I've done it. It's
People
not
are
pretty.
good at will get good at getting up and moving and then sitting down again.
The only thing that irritates me on the forums is the people who are trying to theory craft everything. And I'm like, guys, the people haven't even cleared the first raid yet. You can't theory craft yet.
Yeah.
You can't.
Theory craft.
Coming up with your own theories, making up
Well,
factual information.
figure
is not
out
factual.
mathematically, which build's gonna do the most DPS and all this other stuff. It's just stupid.
Well, I know what build's gonna work best for me, PvE, but I'm gonna PvP spec my character. Because
I just said smuggler would probably put it the most, but
I am by nature a PvEer when it comes to these MMOs. But I do enjoy PvP as well.
the decision.
PvP is money go groups.
I was gonna say the decision that you always have to make is, do you want, if you're a DPS, do you want the highest amount of DPS, or do you want to have utility? You know, be able to like crowd control a lot, or do you, are you gonna play healer? Are you gonna do cast, big heals? Or are you gonna go like, short little heals, spamming?
What's the little hero spammer for the Republic?
That'd be the... I don't know, I would say that's probably going to be your Scoundrel, but that's not
Trooper.
entirely accurate either. Scoundrel
I
is
thought it'd be
your...
the Commander one.
The Scoundrel is your hot healer, it's your reactive healer, whereas your Troopers, your utility healer, your Commando, and the Consular is your single target consistent healer.
Who can surprisingly still put out a very large amount of DPS if you even if you spec healer.
I've always
You'd be
preferred
surprised.
PvE. PvP,
In
though, I get
PvP.
torn apart. I don't know, in PvP 1-to-1 world PvP, I get ripped up.
Oh yeah. But that's because you're not bolstered. I'm meaning like Warzone PvP.
Imagine
Warzone PvP, you can still put out a very reasonable amount of PvP. Yeah, I'm just joking.
Is a sage the equivalent, and vice versa, the equivalent of a sorcerer?
Yes, Sorcerer Sage is the same thing, Shadow Assassin, same thing.
Those sorcerers do an insane amount of damage in PvP. I think a
No,
sage...
because they're always... Most sorcerers you find are always lightning spec.
Yeah.
Very few are actually healing spec.
Hopefully they'll give us some mitigation for that specific equipment and gear, and it will make a bit of a difference.
They do the same DPS that a telekinetic Sage does. The difference is their lightning...
has no cast
Some of their
time.
lightning abilities... Yeah, some of their lightning abilities are a bit more effective on the instant level than some of the telekinetic things, but at the same time, though, a full telekinetic tree Sage has, I can't remember the name of the ability, I'll have to look at my tree, but they get a really nasty ability at the top of their tree that the sorcerer doesn't get. The sorcerer has to ask themselves, at the beginning of a battle, they have to ask themselves, do I want to use lightning, or do I want to use lightning?
Oh no,
let
it's
me ask you,
reverberation. That's dirty.
but let me ask you, there's something they do that tends to snare or stun you while it's doing lightning damage at the same time. I'm not sure what it is.
Yeah.
Is that their lightning?
Overload. It's like Overload. It's their CC. It's the same thing as our Force stuff. It doesn't do damage. They dotted you and then stunned you. We have an instant dot.
Weaken mind.
Yeah, they have an equivalent. So what they do is they'll hit you with your instant dot, okay, and then they'll force stun you. So that's 6 seconds if you don't break it, of you just getting burned on DPS.
Baron Cedrax at your service. Dimension of a pacifist. Just isn't your day.
Yeah, like I have any chance of getting through. Right, that's really clever. Put me through like ravine thing which has level 50s and stuff in it. Unless I've gone completely the wrong way.
You might have gone the wrong way. I didn't have problems at all.
I think
When
I've
I was
gone the
there.
wrong way. because there's like turrets plus like robots and a guard and.
Holiday, were you watching?
I've gone the wrong way. No, have I?
Let's settle this.
This bonus quest is like glitched. It keeps saying that like whenever, I don't know. It won't it's like, oh, you killed 8 out of 25 of these people. Oh, you killed 12 out of these 25 people. Oh, now you've killed 8.
No wonder, somehow I've wandered into where the Imperials go on Belsavis.
It's a bad place to wander, Dave.
I don't know how I got here. I'm just following my
Hey,
class
Gropes, did you
question
say
marker.
you're 400 artifice?
Yeah.
Enough. This
What kind of crystals can you
The
make?
Republic should have used you better, Jedi.
Lots of kinds.
Dealing
For
with
the
injured or
ballpark
fallen
of
refugees,
40s.
Such a waste.
Just a second, let me exit this conversation. Look. Okay. I can make color crystals. Okay, let's go by
Because
levels.
I have a plus 16 endurance crystal.
Yeah, for color crystals, I can only make level 39 stuff. 16 critical rating.
I can only make plus 16 stuff.
Everything's 16 crit.
Oh, we
16
need to get you some
endurance.
new recipe.
Yeah. 20
I need
endurance.
to get myself some.
We need to use some new
I need to
recipe.
get myself some mats.
20 critical. 20 endurance. I have to go buy all the color ones, I think. I haven't bought the schematics. So if you want to go,
Oh, you
you
haven't
can
trained?
look at it. Yeah, I haven't. Since I hit 400, I haven't, because they're so expensive. But I have the money to.
Enough.
Yeah.
This ends here. The Republic
I
should
just
use
need
you
I
better,
need like an
Jedi.
alacrity one or a
Healing the
crit
injured or
chance
fallen
one
refugees.
or endurance.
You
Such
can't get
waste.
a clarity
Somebody sounds like they're
color
afraid.
crystals. You can only get
The Republic never
endurance
moves
or crit
gracefully.
chance.
The Empire controls Balmorra. The greatest weapons in the galaxy are now in the hands of its strongest power.
Consular's
If
pretty
the
cool.
Republic insists on fighting those odds, Balmorra will suffer for it.
The time for discourse is
What I
over.
find having lots of crit chance and lots of surge is really quite nice.
Oh, Zyrez is still a Jedi Guardian, huh? Even after crying about it for 3 days.
Let's settle this.
What, has he been whinging about being a guardian for the past 3 days?
The last few days he's been talking about how the Guardian's a useless tank, and he doesn't feel
not.
useful.
It's obviously not. A, he
Because
doesn't
other
have
classes
the
take
right
better.
gear. or B,